Well, let's talk now to David Andersen, who's Associate Professor in US Politics at Durham University. Good to see David. Welcome to the programme. So, as we were hearing, some reactions have come out already from European leaders, but who do you think Donald Trump's allies will be, and who will wish that things had been different?
Well, it remains to be seen who his allies will be. Donald Trump's foreign policy is hard to predict at times. He tends to govern kind of on a whim. He goes with the wind as it blows and chooses his allies in specific moments, but he tends to not be very tied to existing relationships, and he seems free to move between them.
And one relationship that the United States under Trump last time turned away from was that relationship with NATO. What do you think the administration will do this time?
I think Trump will probably continue his hesitance to fully embrace NATO. In his last term, he really pushed NATO to take some more leadership from Europe. For about the past 75 years, the United States has largely dominated NATO. It has contributed the bulk of funding and the bulk of troops and the bulk of leadership. And Trump's opinion is that that is no longer in the best interest of the United States, so he's probably going to withdraw as much as he can and force Europe to take over a leadership role.
And that may well reflect on relations with Russia. We haven't heard from President Putin. So what about the war in Ukraine? What do you think a Trump presidency could mean for that?
Well, he has said very loudly that his intention is to end that war on his first day in office. And the only realistic way he can do that is to largely abandon Ukraine and say that he's going to pull out American funding and support and force Europe to shoulder the burden.
We've also heard from Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. He said a powerful recommitment to the great alliance between Israel and America. This is what Trump's re-election represents. Do you think we'll see a change in policy now in the Middle East?
I don't think there will be much of a change in policy. I think Trump is going to fully support Israel and largely give Netanyahu a blank check to do whatever he wants to in the conduct of the wars there.
So I said about the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer talking about the UK-US special relationship. Many countries think they have a special relationship with the United States, but what do you think about this one? How will that progress under Trump's presidency?
I think the special relationship is in a lot of trouble under the Trump presidency. He does not feel beholden to history and past agreements. So I believe he is going to try to negotiate a new relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom, one that more clearly benefits the United States.
One of the other things that we know, President Trump has come out and said he's been critical of global climate agreements, such as the Paris Climate Accord. How do you think Europe might respond if the US pulls back from those?
Europe is going to have to create its own leadership on this and figure out a way to go forward without the United States for a while. Trump has been very clear that he does not like climate agreements. He does not want to tackle climate change, and he is likely to pull out of any agreement the United States is in. Europe is going to have to develop its own leadership in this way.
David, good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us on the programme. That's David Andersen, Associate Professor in US Politics at Durham University.